Hey Jason.
Hey.
Jason, for the camera, tell us a little bit about yourself and why we're here today.
Okay, so today we're at the BOBE Talks Engage and Change event, which is a collaboration between Drivus at Göteborg and my organization, the BOBE Group. We're here to kind of celebrate business and entrepreneurship and to kind of provide a space for Black business owners in Gothenburg and the environs to showcase their work and also to kind of get some useful knowledge from Keynotes, who are doing it, doing it as in, running and managing their own businesses. It's good when you have, a support group or other people to look to, to kind of have conversations with, to kind of get you through those tough and rough periods. Yeah. So I came up with the idea that, okay, I'm going to create a group on Facebook so I can see and find out about the different other Black-owned businesses out there. And then right around that time as well, I was doing some research, and then I saw the report from Lance Steelson about Afrophobia and the discrimination in the job market. So
and that hit you hard, right?
Yeah. So then me being a social entrepreneur, in my mind, I was like, okay, solution. Let's create a space where we can support each other, we can exchange resources, we can give each other that kind of push. Yeah, so that's
that's amazing, really inspiring.
Yeah.
So we got this segment today.
Yeah.
We're gonna interview very important people like you, and then we want them to give 3 advices to people like Black business owners in the future.
Yes.
Okay.
3 tips. I think one is to first just do it, and when I say that, don't doubt yourself, because I think sometimes when we get an idea, doubt creeps in and that prevents us from actually doing, what we set out to do. Second tip is to never give up, because I think also many people who go into businesses, they go into business, if you're going to go start a business, you should do it based on, something that you're passionate about. You should be impact driven and not profit driven, because if you are driven by profit, you will end up giving up at the first sign of failure. So ensure that you're passionate about what you're doing and that you are consistent. Yeah. And last but not least, don't be afraid to be flexible, and flexible in choosing the right team of people to help you as well. Because I find that many people in choosing the team, the business and the success is just as good as its team. Yeah. So I think many people, when we start businesses, we tend to find people who are good at the same things that we do. So in building a team, we need to find people who are good at things that we're not good at, so there will be a complement to us, because that's a mistake I've made a lot in the past. When people are good at the same, that your team, everybody in the team is good at the same thing that you are, it becomes a competition, and then it lags success. Yes. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. It's so nice to see everybody here in the afternoon of a Friday as we come together to engage in change. Just to introduce myself, a little bit about me. So, my name is Jason Dean HOLNESS, and I'm a social entrepreneur, and by that I mean that I'm an impact entrepreneur. So for me in business, creating impact is very important. I'm originally from Jamaica. I've been living in Malmo now for a little over 7 years. That's a bit about me. So I'll tell you education. I remember when I first started basic school, I wasn't very much enthused about learning and studying until one day I think a teacher said to me that, you know, education is the key to success. And I remember going home that day and, you know, I turned my hardcover book over and I started learning the timetable. And I remember from that moment on, I was very much committed to my education because that was going to be my key to succeed. And over the years, you know, I've studied a lot. I've studied very hard. You know, some would say I have more degrees than a thermometer. But what I've realized over the years is that, you know, with all my education, I've still been unable to get access to a job in my field. And as such, I turned to entrepreneurship because it was, well, a tool for me to kind of provide opportunities for myself. I think Camille Cosby once said, you know, as long as you are a consumer, you're a beggar. So you must become a producer. And I feel like, you know, in my education, you know, I was taught to, you know, how to go out and work for other people. You know, I wasn't taught how to create my own businesses. Entrepreneurship wasn't such a big part of my educational curriculum. And, you know, back in the day, you know, if I went home and I told my mother that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, you know, she'd look at me and think, you know, boy, you crazy, you know? But I began to realize that I needed to create and start something of my own to be able to survive and to be able to offset the challenges that I've encountered, you know, accessing the labor market. So just over a year ago, I was sitting in my room one night and I applied for a job that I really wanted. Well, every job I applied for, I really want. And I think part of the disappointment was that just before that, I'd started a new business idea, concept that just did not work out as I planned. And then I got this email on top of it with the same generic response, you know, because for every application, I write a new cover letter. For every application, I do a new CV. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. And to get a generic response, it's just like, ugh. So I was in a very down space and place. And just in that moment, I came across a report by Lance Stevenson, you know, that spoke about Afrophobia in Sweden and the difficulties there people of African descent face in entering the labor market. And I thought, okay, I'm sitting here in my room, there must be other people out there who are, you know, experiencing, you know, this kind of disappointment, you know, who have started their own businesses, but, you know, for some reason haven't been able to kind of grow beyond, you know, a sole proprietor basis. And I came up with the idea of creating the BOBE Group, which, you know, BOBE, an acronym for Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurship. So when I got the idea, I decided to just create a Facebook group so I could reach out to other Black business owners and entrepreneurs within the community to start a conversation and also to get support and to kind of find out, you know, about who the different Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs were around, so I could get some inspiration, because I find that, you know, it's very, representation is important. I remember when I just started out, I mean, I got my start with Drivhuset in Malmö, and I've been a part of so many incubators and so many accelerators, but the speakers who came and spoke to me, while the knowledge and information that they were sharing was very useful and important, but they didn't look like me. And as such, as a Black business owner, my experience, you know, as an entrepreneur is totally different. There are certain things that are unique to my experience that I can't learn or access from someone that doesn't look like me. So I created the group to create a space to be able to meet other entrepreneurs that look like me, that, you know, has been experiencing their entrepreneurial journey as I experienced it. And, you know, the feedback and the response was great. And such was the genesis of the BOBE Group. So, a little bit about us. So, the whole essence of it is to create a space to kind of empower Black businesses to grow, to develop, to give them the opportunity to get further visibility, to give them the opportunity to get access to networks, and to also to collaborate, you know, with different organizations within Sweden and its environs. I've been asked this question a lot of times, you know, when I enter different rooms and spaces and I talk about Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurship. They say, why Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurship? And, you know, I often say, why not? I think if you exit this room and you go out in Gothenburg or in Malmö, you'll see at least 5, 6 Middle Eastern businesses, restaurants. You'll see a lot of Asian, Chinese restaurants and places, but you're unable to count on your hand the amount of Black businesses there are. And this is why Black entrepreneurship matters, because there are tons of them out there. It's just that they're not visible. So they need our help to create space for them to be able to grow, so that they can have shops, you know, they can employ, you know, other people within the community. And this is also very important to stimulate the economy and to decrease the employment rate among Swedes. With that said, we have, if you want to contact us for more information, we have bobecph@gmail.com, and we have a website where we share a little bit more information on, you know, some of our success stories. Thus far, this is our third conference. We had our first conference on May 4th in Copenhagen, which attracted over 150 individuals. We had 6 keynote speakers. Heaven was one of them. And we had an expo. And, you know, since then we have done a second one. This is our third. And, you know, what I can say from the experiences and the feedback that I've gotten is that, you know, people have attended our networking and our conferences, and they've gotten their first clients. You know, they've, you know, sold their first paintings. You know, people who have been trying and doing things for years, but have not been able to, you know, just get to that point. So this has been my primary motivation, because I see that there's a need, and, you know, in continuing to do, you know, we can overcome all the challenges and create solutions and create, you know, a society where, you know, we're all thriving equally and well. And on that note, thank you very much.
Jason, real honor.
Thank you.
And one last thing. You're a black man.
Yes.
Which country are you representing today?
Oh, I'm representing Jamaica.
Jamaica. He's representing Jamaica. Thank you, Jason. Thank you very much.